Hey, this is the rabbits eating comfrey during the winter, and as you can see, they're chowing down. I just gave them a leaf. Yeah, go back to eating the leaf. Yeah, no, you got food down there, dummy. As you can see, they got feed, and he left the feed for the comfrey. They do like it. He also wants me to bring a doe in there to breed right now. So they are eating the comfrey. One has not bothered to pull it down. Obviously, she's not all that impressed. We do have some that don't eat it that well. And like I said, I did feed them this morning, and came out and gave them a leaf a little while ago. And as you can see, they're all but one are eating fairly well the leaf, in spite of the fact that they just have been fed their commercial feed, and all of them have commercial feed in the trough. So okay, the comfrey, this is comfrey I got growing in my garden, and during the summer I was able to pick from this easily every 4th or 5th day. Nice big leaves. This has now been about 2 weeks since it was picked, and I just gave it some rabbit manure this morning to see about, and my male dog is deciding he wants to add a little water to it. Anyway, these guys were picked probably something on the order of 2 weeks ago. During the summer, if I had waited 2 weeks between picking, once these guys got going, they would be trying to take over the pathway in between the rows. So they're slowed down a lot. And one of the areas up top I'm going to walk out to in a minute is even more. So I'll walk up there and I'll talk about that. All right, this is some of my comfrey in the upper pasture. And if you look at the leaves, you can tell the chickens have been eating the dickens out of it. Which is fine, I don't mind that. But during the summer, these guys would have been knee-high or higher and spreading out like crazy, because they've been in the ground there for quite a little while. As you can see, the older stalks that the chickens have been removing. Got a couple over here that were split kind of mid-summer and were growing real well. I left the cages on them, but the chickens still leak through the cages. These guys over here, I got an order to sell some comfrey, and by the way, those will live. They're perfectly happy. They'll be coming along very well. I've done this before, but I got an order for some roots, and I sold some roots, and they wanted a nice little batch, so I went on ahead and dug up 2 clumps, and I split them. And split them in several places. Also put some roots in some other areas. But by the spring, these guys will be kicking it in gear. But we're cold enough this year, early enough to where a lot of things have pretty much shut down. I've planted some comfrey in through here, some roots, and also over here where the dirt's disturbed. Just stuck a root in the ground, and during the spring, by summer, they'll all be kicking it in gear, or at least most of them will. And this is the one that everything. If I take the cover off, the rabbits will eat like crazy. But I'm going to uncover it here in a little while and probably do some splitting, but also get some of this fescue out of here. So anyway, just a short video on comfrey in the winter, and why I'm happy as I can be with a comfrey in the greenhouse. So all right, that'll be it. This is going to be a short one. All right, I'm back in the greenhouse with the comfrey. I've added some chicken manure to hopefully encourage them to grow a little bit. Thought about adding some rabbit manure, but there's a little bit of mold on the top of the rabbit manure, and I thought, I don't really want to get mold going in the greenhouse. I picked some comfrey from this guy the other day, and from that guy this morning, and fed it to my rabbits. The comfrey is growing, and it's growing relatively well, especially compared to the stuff that's outside. The before we got into the 20s, those couple of nights, low 20s, those couple of nights, I was picking my comfrey very heavily like I normally do. But since it's gotten colder, it has slowed down and has not regenerated quite as quickly as it normally did. So that's one reason why. One of the things I'm happy about with the greenhouse is giving myself the ability to keep feeding the rabbits some greenery during the year. I've had such a crazy year that we did not plant wheat like we normally do. And most years, our rabbits get an awful lot of wheat grass during the winter. So this year, the only greenery they're going to get is comfrey, and then whenever the cabbages get going and we start pulling, when we harvest the head, we'll give them the leaves from the outer edges and all. And still really happy with my broccoli. I keep looking in there to see if I can see a small head starting to form. But so far, no luck. And I've got another little project I may do a video on real quickly a little bit later. So, all right. If you like this sort of thing, I'd ask you to subscribe. And this is still our very inexpensive greenhouse. I'm actually surprised that as heavy as the darn thing was, I was almost surprised that the shipping wasn't the total cost. But we're happy with it so far. I'm already looking at it saying, I need a bigger one. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this sort of thing. And if you do, I'd ask you to subscribe. Bye.